They call themselves humans. Other than that, I know nothing of them. I heard that your village had a run-in with them and wondered what you can tell me about them. A giant and rugged warrior walked into the tavern. He quickly grabbed the attention of everyone who sat in the tavern, for he was of the fabled race of Vigors, a rare sight in these lands. You want to talk to Marizus, adventurer. Just beware his village was wiped out by the demon-worshipping cult that was menacing this land a couple of months ago. The Eldem barkeep pointed at a depressed man in torn rags and hands filled with tremors. The liquid in his jug constantly spilling as he brought it closer to his lips. So you are Marizus? The giant warrior sat in front of Marizus and quickly was interrupted by empty gaze of poor man. You want to hear of my tales? Marizus said, with a voice that emitted an aura of despair. Yes, but what are they? The giant said with pity, expecting to hear a tragedy that humans caused. You be the judge of it, because I don't know what to make of them myself. Our village was rounded up and delivered to the Black Fortress, those Nualadem witches built to the north of here. Those witches made pacts with demons of Tartarus and wanted to bring them over to our realm. Mazarus was staring at the jug of the bubbling liquid, his mind once again reliving the horrible events that he was playing over and over. The things I have seen. I pray to gods to save me and my wife, but prayers were unanswered. It was a horrible place. They bled us dry, not only feeding on our blood, but on our desperation and fear. I accepted my fate. My soul was to be given to demons, and this hellish place would become my eternal prison, never to walk upon the fields of Elysium. I have lost all hope, and the day when demons would come was finally close. I'll be honest, secretly I wanted for that day to come so that this horror would finally be over. So I was not resisting when they bled us, already wanting to serve the dark gods, thinking it would ease my suffering. Lazarus actually dropped his jug and spilled the drink all over the table as he grabbed his head in shame. Barkeep, we need more ale here. I'll pay for it. So what happened next? The Vigir warrior put the bag of gold on the table, clearly showing he was ready to pay extra for not being disturbed. The barkeep brought over the barrel of ale and put it on the table. The Vigir warrior refilled the jug of Mazarus and slid it over to him, and then he filled his own jug. Mazarus nodded in gratitude as the Vigir warrior took a mighty gulp. At first, cultists began rallying, saying that some great enemy found them. I did not know what was happening, but I had no more will to care. Then those vile spires of oppression were hit by something so vast, I only noticed when I heard sudden thunder. When I looked up, I saw those towers destroyed as if by the will of the gods. For a moment I thought my prayers were finally heard, but I knew gods long abandoned us. Mazarus tried to keep his tremors under control, in order not to spill the drink, which Vigir so charitably provided for. Then I saw it. 5 skyships flew right above my cage. The 4 bigger grey skyships were running down this strange stream of glowing bolts on the cultists and their monsters. It sounded like the buzz of bees. Cultists tried to fight back, but skyships were covered by magical shields powerful enough to stand up to them. Then, like birds of prey, human warriors began jumping out of those ships. They knew exactly where they wanted to strike. They were covered in strange armor that changed its color to fit the color of their surroundings, their faces hidden behind strange helmets, barking commands in their strange language. They were armed with those strange thunderstaves that pierced everything they unleashed their fury at. They fought without fear and with such coordination, I thought they were automatons. Yet I saw them being torn apart to reveal blood and flesh behind that armor of theirs. Like machines, they would continue to fight, utterly fearless of their losses, yet still showing wisdom of self-preservation. Supremely disciplined, but not to a fault. I guess that's how I would describe them. Mazarus finished his drink and gave the jug over to the Vigir warrior, as if this was what he was looking for. The Vigir warrior poured more ale into the jug, indicating he wanted to hear the end of the story. Mazarus took the jug, stared at it for a moment, then back at the Vigir warrior. He made a deep breath and took a good gulp of ale. In all the commotion, my cage was opened and I rushed towards the tower. My wife was chosen, for she was the noblest and purest of souls, for the final sacrifice, and I thought there it was our chance to be saved. Inside I saw horrors I could not believe, but I also saw those mighty warriors of humans. They were clad in different armor than those outside. It seemed more powerful, but I did not know how or why. I just knew they were elites of humans. The way they fought was something quite hard to describe. Always outnumbered, yet always finding the way to emerge victorious. They were not the faster or stronger, but they just knew how to be fast enough, or how to be strong enough, or trick to use to defeat those monsters. And I followed them into the dungeons, hoping to find my wife. Mazarus said, as if he was stalling, trying to prevent the inevitable. The jug, once again, was empty, and the Vigir warrior once again filled it. What was happening in the dungeons was even more horrific. Nightmares. Horrible illusions, an utter sense of despair, mixed with promises of satiating your darkest desires. Only my renewed hope and love for my wife can be centered. However, I was running around like a madman, chasing spectral images. This human warrior, on the other hand, seemed unfazed by whatever was happening, easily making the difference between what was real and what was not. Mazarus said as he was staring off into the distance. His gaze was no longer seeing the tavern, or, to that matter, the Vigir warrior, or the half-empty jug of ale. I finally saw another spectral image of my wife, tortured by that crazed, abominable witch. I froze, no longer knowing what was real. Then something walked into my delusional sight. This human warrior aimed his thunderstaff at my wife. With a godlike thunderclap, he pierced both my wife and the witch with his thunderstaff. Then I saw another human warrior mere split moments later, also shooting the witch, but unlike the other human, he had a better angle. He had no need to kill my wife. This was the moment the illusions faded away, but I think I will forever be trapped in that hell now. Mazarus' speech picked up pace, as he was recounting the events and only slowing down once he saw his wife's heart being pierced once again by this unrelenting and uncaring weapon. But you asked for what humans are. This human warrior removed his helmet, and that's when I saw it. I saw regret. I saw the face of a creature that was mortal, yet unimaginably strong. The face of a creature that was fallible, yet had the confidence of giants. The face of a creature that was utterly ruthless and yet cared. The only way I can describe humans well. They are human. Mazarus finished his ale and put his head on the table. His eyes both filled with tears and maddened confusion.